Hello car lovers, driving the 2023 Land Rover Defender 130 P400. I gotta look at the sheet because that's just too long of a name for me. It does underline an enormous amount of customization though. We'll look at an overview right now.
The 2023 Land Rover Defender is a luxury SUV. Defender comes in three sizes: compact, midsize, and full size. In Land Rover talk, this means P90, P110, and this full-size P130. All get the famed ZF 8-speed automatic. In this full-size trim, the P130, it is available in 4 distinct trims with 2 engine options: a turbocharged V6 with a mild hybrid called P400 and a supercharged V8 called P500. I have seen quite a few on Quebec roads. The P400 or V6 turbo generates 395 horsepower and 406 pounds of torque and a 6.6 second 0 to 60, not too shabby. Fuel economy is 13.1 liters in the city and 9.1 liters on the highway. This vehicle is highly customizable and highly recognizable, 2 key attributes for the high-end crowd. The price starts at roughly $100,000 Canadian. There are relatively few options, which I find pleasant as a buying experience. The exterior is an incredible design and it looks rugged, off-road, classy, expensive, and distinctly Rover all at the same time. Only the 911 has such a recognizable design language. Even the lights are clever looking. The interior is classy, original, looks expensive, but doesn't have quite that German fit-together feel.
We're back. So that's the Land Rover 130, and there's a lot more models, and it's easily customizable. It reminds me kind of the F-150 in that sense. What to say about this vehicle? Is it a mid-size SUV? Is it a full-size SUV? Kind of hard to say. So much bigger than everyone else. I'm tempted to say it's a very small full-size. There is 8 seats here, 3 on the second row, 3 in the rear seat. 3 in the rear seat, that's mostly for smaller people. But in the second row, very, very, very comfortable. Lots of room here. The boxy shape really lends to itself. Speaking of the boxy shape, even though it is boxy on the outside, I must say I am seeing the $100,000 that this vehicle costs. In terms of the looks on the outside, it really looks tasteful. I mean, Land Rover is one of those brands like Porsche where in spite of modernizing itself, it looks distinctly a Land Rover. I mean, there's just no question about it when you see these on the road. I mean, every time Ross brings me a Land Rover, it's like, it's such a Land Rover, it's not even funny. So very, very good on that level. High level styling, high level paint. There's beautiful color. This dark red is really nice. The details are very stylish. That classy British way of signaling to the world in terms of its looks. I am outdoorsy, can take all the toughest tasks, yet there's a certain amount of class. There's a certain amount of stylishness for the outside styling. It's very well done. I got to give it up for that on that level. It's very well done. On the inside now, that boxy shape translates well. Lots of room, lots of visibility, except for the rear visibility, which is really blocked by seats 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. The middle seats just block the view, and when it's not that, it's the tire in back. So kind of weird on that level. It is what it is, and that is it. But lots of room, nice seats, good leather, this very simplistic, high level. It's you can't compare it to the Germans with that urbane sophistication, but nevertheless, high level. Nice screen, easy to use. I'm in here now. Right away, the climate control easy. I've got a lever for the transmission. Steering wheel, the controls here, the stocks are very familiar. You do the core tasks of driving. Look, the plugs are readily available to charge your device if that's what you need to do. Very good Land Rover on that level. I would say that the steering wheel, although nice and meaty, it feels a little generic. It feels like something that came out of a GMC. This is the M steering wheel blows this out of the water. In fact, the M steering wheel should be copied on by every manufacturer, especially when you're paying $100,000. When you're holding onto the steering wheel, it needs to feel special. This is okay, it's good, but it's those little things. The interface is here, quality enough, I would say. you just get this feeling of hyper solidity when you're driving this vehicle. We drove it before on the highway for quite some time. It was so quiet. The Montreal Trail, we don't have access to real trails. We have a harder test. We are on the Montreal Trail in Lachine, and on the busiest street, which there's no one that goes on it, because why would you come here? It's going to screw up your car. It's really taking it very well. I mean, this is clearly a trail-focused vehicle wearing a suit, if you want. I mean, if you like the Ford Explorer, but you just find it's not classy enough, boy, this vehicle has got to be at the top of your list. I mean, if you like Jeep or Ford Explorers or things like that, and you want the high-level experience of that, this is your vehicle. No heads-up display, curiously. The sound system does play very well. The Meridian sound system, really nice, and it's got nice little touches here. The grills are tastefully done. Very good, very good. So this is a very competent vehicle. The engine power from the 6-cylinder is sufficient. This vehicle weighs 2,500 kilograms. Seriously, that's over 5,000 pounds. It's like, it's out of control. It's just out of control. Sorry, my little urbane brain can't handle that. However, I must say it rides very, very well. They're really good at masking their weight in the city, these vehicles. So I can certainly see why everyone's going towards SUVs. I mean, it's a do-it-all vehicle. They're luxurious. They're family haulers. You can bring your family up north and spend the time in nature. They've got full of storage room. I mean, Ross was busting my balls about 8-9 years ago. You're going to see, Chris, everybody's going to be driving small SUVs in countries that have more money. And boy, his prediction has been 100% balls on accurate, when at a time where the automotive journalists were a little less, I remember in 2010, 2011 watching a documentary on how the SUV would destroy us, and my goodness, they're not destroying us, they're making us happier, it seems. So this is the car industry is responding to demand, and that's very good. Of course, it is subject to the quacky Quebec $40,000 a year luxury tax. Like, the average price of cars is way over $40,000, yet we have this stupid tax to pay in Quebec. Really, it says something about us. And also in Canada, well, now because it's slightly over $100,000, it will be subject to the envy tax, the federal envy tax. So, I mean, people who are jealous and have envy are really hurting cars, I think, and it's sad. But this vehicle, wonderful. I enjoy driving it. It's got a lot of personality. I can't say that of many other luxury SUVs. I mean, the MDX, as good as it is, it has no personality. The QX60 has no personality. And I would say maybe it has even a bit more personality than the Germans. So they've engineered that into the car. Good for Land Rover. And so recommendable on the lease, and certainly not recommendable on the purchase. When these things have to get fixed, it's going to cost you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 at the dealer. I don't care how much you make. If you make $250,000, $275,000, $300,000 a year, especially with our taxation rates, spending $5,000 to $10,000 at the dealer, it's just going to ruin your season, right? It's not even ruin your month. It's going to ruin your season. No one needs that. So just lease these vehicles and then return it to the dealer, and that is it. Or at least get a bumper-to-bumper warranty if you're going to get a second-hand one. And those are my thoughts. By the way, if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And if you really like it, well then, of course, you should subscribe. And that is it.